How the heck did I become a full-time influencer that makes six figures a year right out of college? How did I do it? Hey, Queso Divas. Ooh, I'm cozy tonight. So for today's Queso on the Couch, we're going to break down the full story. We're going to go through everything. How Queso Scorpio came to be, how I got my platform, how I made money, how I still make money, all that jazz. Because I remember when I was a teenager sitting in my room, I wanted a video like this so bad. One that I could sit down, watch, and become inspired on how to be a creator. This started with trauma and humble beginnings. Okay, let me get into it. The time is middle school. I can remember the classroom. I can't remember if it was 6th or 7th grade. I started posting on Instagram, and Acacia Brinley was like my icon. She was like my everything. I was obsessed with like her aesthetic. She could just take like a selfie like so casually, and I was mesmerized by it. I was like, oh my god, like this is so cool. And you're seeing like the Alexis Wrens, like they're just running around in swimsuits and they're just like having the time of their life and they're getting paid for it. I was like, what is this? It was a different type of celebrity than I had ever seen before. And I was so infatuated with it. And with 2026 being the new 2016, I feel like this is like so perfect for like the era I was in, because this was a little bit before 2016 when I first started posting on social media. I first started posting on Tumblr, and I remember I got a pretty large Tumblr audience from that. My username was Walks Like Rain. I was like super kind of like every kid goes through like their emo aesthetic. I was like a little emo during this vibe, like winged eyeliner every day to school. I was really insecure in my skin. I had really bad acne. I was insecure in my body. I mean, you're a teenager. You don't feel like comfortable in your skin whatsoever at all. Also, drink of choice today, Olipop. This is the new Olipop Shirley Temple. I went to one of their events. Speaking of being an influencer, I went to their launch event of this. This is really good. I'm not sure what a Shirley Temple is supposed to taste like. I was never one of those girls that ordered a Shirley Temple at a restaurant growing up, so I have no idea what Shirley Temple is supposed to. This tastes like a cherry cream soda. That's how I will describe it. Anyway, so she's an emo girl. Like, I was going back through like my Tumblr like reposts and saves the other day for like the 2016 trend, because I was just like curious what I was up to in 2016. And a lot of my digital footprint has been erased, which we will find out from my trauma in a few moments. Still traumatized over it. But I was looking back at these posts. I'm like retweeting, like I loved like Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil, like screamo music. Like that was my aesthetic at the time. And I started like taking these photos in my room because I was so insecure at school. I was so shy. I was so socially anxious. I like just wanted to curl up in a ball every day in school and like just not be there. I like just didn't like it. And I was also just leaning into the emo kid energy. I just didn't like my friends. I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't know what was going on, which honestly makes a ton of sense, because if the timeline is 6th grade, it wasn't until 7th grade that I started volleyball. And that is when I found all my friends that had become my family. And I started accumulating better friendships and stuff. Before, I was just like a lost puppy. I had no idea what was going on. And I wanted everyone to like me. It seemed like no one did. And I always stood out a lot because I was really tall. So I'm taller than everyone in my grade. Like I just had a lot going on. Okay. So when I would go home, I would like just take like cute photos. It made me feel more confident. I didn't have anyone staring at me, so I could take it as long as I want. I remember always asking for new cameras for like my birthday and Christmas. I remember I got this like chunky DSLR one that I would take photos on. And I started like editing these photos because I've always been really into like photo, video editing. And I started uploading these photos onto Instagram. And I wish I had these photos. I literally don't. They were all on my iPod Touch. I was posting them and they were like getting a lot of followers. Like these posts were low-key going viral, where I don't even remember, like I had a lot of followers. Like I had at least like 10,000, maybe 20,000 followers on Instagram, which at the time back then was like a huge deal. Like my account just like blew up because I would do these like little edits. Like I remember there was this one where there was 4 images of my eyes and I just like changed the eye color because like no one knew how to like edit on their phones, and like I could edit. And I'm not talking Facetune edit. I'm talking like there's this one of me holding this galaxy. Like I wish I had these images and I literally don't have them, but I swear they're out there. They're out there somewhere. Anyway, so I've been growing this following on social media, and it gives me like an escape from middle school. I'm in school. I just like hate everything about school. I go home. I have my audience on Instagram. People are commenting. People are interested. People are DMing. Like, because Instagram back then was just like like everyone's attention was on it, and like I had a lot of people's attention. Like my engagement was crazy. Like it was super exciting. Then my parents found out I had a lot of followers on Instagram, and I was messaging people back and forth. Like it felt like my community. Like I was escaping my world on my phone, which was so freeing for me. They did not like that. They said, "No, you don't get Instagram anymore," and they deleted my account. Which, it's okay. I've forgiven them, but in the moment, my world was ending. My world was crumbling. I didn't have Instagram. My entire following that I worked hard to build with my little like Instagram edits and stuff that felt like I was never going to do again, it was just vanished. Oh, I haven't relived that trauma in a while because that was like one of the darkest days of my life. I was like, Mom, Dad, you don't get it. I'm supposed to be a star. I'm supposed to be a star. And boy, did I show them. We will rebuild. I'm the definition of that. So that goes away. That era of my life, I think, is over. That's my influencer era. That's my Acacia Brindley era. Like Acacia Brindley is now having children. Like I'm not having children. Like it wasn't meant to be. Whatever. I go through the rest of middle school. I go through high school. I find my friends that become my family. I end up going to college. I go to University of Michigan. I'm so excited to get into U of M. I'm from Michigan. It's a really good school, really good education. I'm like, let's go, locked in. And I always loved to take a little photo. Like every girl did that though. Every girl did a little photo shoot and like was posting them like in their neighborhood, like posing, like wearing like the high top Converse and like the whatever this was, the peace sign thing and like doing little peace signs and stuff. Like I was just a normal girl on social media because eventually my parents did let me make a new Instagram. I think it was probably like a year later I was able to make a new Instagram. So I was just like starting from zero, but I was like traumatized. I was like, I just want to follow my friends, like grateful to be here, everyone. Because during this era, the only social media platform is really Instagram. So I'm not thinking about my Instagram presence at all until I feel like I got into college and I started rushing a sorority. I realized they had all looked me up on Instagram. I wasn't super like cute on Instagram. I wasn't posting like thirst traps and stuff. Whatever, but I noticed like the girls that were in the top houses were doing that, and they had like a couple thousand followers and I only had like 500 or whatever. And that's when I kind of first started like noticing social media again. And so I remember freshman year of college, somehow I find out about this ambassador program for a like school apparel brand. I forget the name. It starts with like an N. I'll like have it up because I posted them and it was like one Facebook post a month and we'll send you 2 pieces of like U of M apparel. I think it was maybe like every semester in exchange for one Facebook post a month, which I'm like, Facebook, that's so easy. Because I was never really a Facebook girl. Facebook like never really was my vibe, has been my vibe. My old Facebook posts are like so cringy. It's all like for a TBH, all this kind of stuff. So freshman year, I do that ambassador program. And also during this time, I got into modeling. So I was having my boyfriend at the time take like these like modeling like digitals of me because I was convinced I wanted to be a model. I was like, okay, I'm not meant to be an influencer. I want to be a model because models seemed more attainable to me. I like knew other girls in my school that were doing it, that were signed to agencies. I was like, okay, I like have one degree of separation from people that can do this. I can do it too. Whereas in the influencer world, I feel like a lot of people, especially back then, didn't have someone that they knew that was an influencer, which makes it feel so much more attainable. I mean, even a girl from my sorority texted me last week that I've never texted, and she was like, hey, how do I become an influencer? Because I'm probably the only influencer that she like knows in her contact list. So it's like, yeah, I am like the person to ask, I guess. And this is when I started doing the middle part too. This was the beginning of the middle part, which I feel like changed everything for me. I feel like I really glowed up second semester freshman year of college. I went on Accutane, which like I feel like it shrunk my nose. It just I look different. Like this is me bid day. This is me now. No plastic surgery. Actually I got it the chin BBL, but we'll talk about that another day. And so because I have all these beautiful images and I'm working with different photographers, I'm like starting to post a lot more on Instagram. Like I'm like, look at me, I'm getting it done. And I'm posting for game days. I have friends now. We all look so cute. I'm posting for date parties. Like there's just more occasions I feel like to take photos. I was just a lot like happier once I got to college, I felt like. And so I'm posting a lot more. I felt like a lot more confident in my skin at this point. Sophomore year of college, I'm living in my sorority house, and there's a lot of like college ambassador programs on social media. If anyone is in college, I feel like college is the best time to start your social media. And I bet there's even ambassador programs for high schoolers now too, because social media has exploded so much since I started. Then my sophomore year of college, I remember I'm living in my sorority house and I applied to be a Tinder ambassador. And the funny thing is, I was actually banned from Tinder because my friend and I were having a sleepover and we decided to make a fake profile and try to get people to like send us money, because you're like, you have no money and I just got my license. Like, I need the gas money. I want to like drive around, like go shopping. So we make a Tinder on my phone and we're just like, he. Next morning I wake up, you're banned from Tinder. You're banned from Tinder. But that did not stop the Tinder U Ambassador program in college from accepting me. The Tinder U Ambassador program was like just for like Tinder University students. I don't know. I was also like freshly single. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah. Because my man cheated on me and had a threesome. I was like, yep, I'm a Tinder U ambassador now. Like, I am available. I was like, let's go. Because this is also my first time being single literally in like forever. I had like 3 different boyfriends throughout high school that like absorbed my world, and it was just like boom boom boom, and I was finally single. I was like, let's go. I'm in college, whole new pool of people. Like, I'm on Tinder U, but I wasn't actually even on Tinder. I was on it was back in the day where like I didn't need dating apps because I was interacting with so many attractive single men all the time, like all like the frat bros and stuff, which there were a lot of hotties. Like, it was back in the time of having a crush. You would just have like crushes on crushes on crushes. For the Tinder ambassadorship, I was posting maybe like twice a month, and like there was no video content back then, so you would just take like a cute outfit photo and you would literally just put Tinder in the caption. So I posted as a Tinder ambassador, and I think that's my last ambassador program before I go and study abroad. I study abroad at my second semester of junior year. I studied abroad in Barcelona. It was the best time of my life. You get the chance to study abroad and you don't know where to pick Barcelona. Barcelona was fantastic, and I don't know a lick of Spanish. I've only ever taken French. Still don't even know French. Still don't even know Spanish. But I thrived. If you like to party, if you like to club, but you also like culture and you like to have easy accessibility to other countries, and just like the Catalan culture, like the energy there is just so good. Like, and there's like a good subway system. If you're a girl that like wants to live in New York City someday, definitely go to Barcelona. Their public transportation metro system is like fantastic. It's fantastic. I loved it. I loved every second of abroad. But the best time of my life comes to a very abrupt and traumatic. Wow, we are going through my 2 biggest traumas on this pod right now. You have to go through trauma, I guess, to achieve your dreams. We'll get to that at the end. Because I'm out at the club. It is a normal like Wednesday night, but COVID chirpings are happening. I don't know. It was back when we were calling it like the bat disease. Like, I don't know, my parents were calling me being like, there's this bat disease in China, like you're gonna have to come home, because this is my first time like out of out of North America, I guess. So I'm far away from home. My parents are like, I'm partying every single day. Like, I am just like going crazy, but I'm having like the best time with my best friends. Like, it was just fantastic. So I had been abroad for like 3 months at that point, I guess 2.5, I don't know, but my abroad time got cut like a month and a half short, which bummer, but like it was the best time of my life. And I don't know if I would have made it to the end, babes. Like, I kind of needed the rest, okay. But I was very sad and very depressed to go. And then you're also coming home to like COVID, like the world being shut down. It's such a scary time, because right before I went to study abroad, I remember TikTok came out and I downloaded TikTok. But then once I went abroad, the For You page was all in like Spanish because my location was in Spain. And so I really didn't like touch TikTok at all. Like those were the days, like pre-TikTok. Like, I remember maybe scrolling it sometimes, but then like not really being into it and just like moving on. So I come home during COVID, and this is when like everyone starts using starts watching TikToks, and I start consuming TikToks. I'm not like posting any. I would make like little silly ones, but I wasn't like trying to like post on it at all. I'm going into my senior year of college. I'm locked in with my friends. I'm like, we just had this traumatic experience. Now it's COVID, like our senior year. Like, oh my God. It actually ended up being the biggest blessing. I feel like I got so much closer with my senior year college friends because we had to do like intimate house parties, and it was like really fun. That was like my main focus, main priority. And then because also at this time, because this is important information, because I was studying it to be a user experience design major. I was going to go into the field, boots on the ground, and do UX design, which is a really random niche major. That's also something I loved about the University of Michigan, is because they had that major. Didn't know about it until my sophomore year of college, because I had to take, because through the general college at Michigan, you're required to take 3 or 4 years of a foreign language, but you can test out of it. We've learned about, I'm not good at foreign languages, babe. I'm dyslexic. I didn't test out of French, so I was gonna have to take 3 years of French in order to be like a comm major. Like, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do maybe like marketing. I really wanted to do video editing for a long time. I really wanted to go to like maybe USC and do their film school, but then I was like, but like full on film doesn't feel right. Like it feels like there needs to be something added into it. Like, I don't want like a director just telling me how to cut things. Like, I want to cut it myself. That's what I always really loved about YouTube. Like, I would watch like Amanda Steele and like Maddie Bragg and like even like Suede Brooks. Like, I love Suede Brooks. Like, I just loved like the way that like they edited it, and like there was such like beauty to that. Like, one of my favorite YouTubers, like Margot Lee, and I've actually met her. I was like at an event and her and I sat down next to each other at a salon, and we're like mutuals now. Like, I think she edits so beautifully and it's so inspiring. That's like what I immediately said to her. And like, she is like part of the reason, like, I just have had this like pull always to like editing and like making people feel some way. The school announcements from freshman to senior year, that was like a big part of like my high school experience. And when you're like freshman, sophomore, like, you're not going to be on camera. Like, it's all like the older like seniors on camera and stuff. And so I was one of the 2 editors for, and like I loved using like iMovie, which is like now like I'm using like CapCut. Like, I just have always like loved editing, but creating my own story. Because with the announcements too, we were piecing them up. I wasn't like crazy good at like the graphic design part of it. I do like to do graphic design, but it takes me a very, very long time, and I'm like insecure about like my skills. Like, animating my intro, that took me like so long. Like, I can't imagine doing that like every single day. I bet I would get better at it, but you know. So back to, I'm having to take 3 years of French, and I take 1 semester of it, and I'm like, this is so brutally awful. And classes were always on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I had French 3 days a week, and Fridays, I made it my thing. None of my semesters of college, I had Friday class. I was just able to like schedule it that way. And so I had to look into other options. I was like, I can't do this for 3 years. And I saw that there's this other school that you could apply to called the School of Information at the University of Michigan. And it was like graphic design, social media, and user experience design were the 3 majors. And there was like a comp sci one available at the school. Oh my God. Because I actually went into school thinking I was going to be a coding girl. I took like EECS 183. We were coding in like C++, because I thought, okay, I like went to the other end of the spectrum. I was doing all visual. Then I was like, okay, maybe I want to do back end, because like nothing felt right to me. It felt like too extreme one way and too extreme the other way. And so I started with coding. That doesn't work because, babes, that's a foreign language and you don't do foreign languages. Like, coding is literally just learning a foreign language and like how to speak it, and like your girl can't do that. So I was like, okay, I can't do this. And I didn't like really want to do marketing. And so when I found this, guess what? School of Information, you didn't have to take a foreign language, because the coding classes were the foreign language, but it was like HTML coding, which is still, it gets difficult, but it's a lot easier. It's like just all visual coding. It's like what you see on the interface. And so I transferred into that. I don't have to take French anymore. Oh my God, I literally like cried in my professor's office when I had to take French. And I'm a user experience design major. I feel so good about it. I really I loved my major so much. It was the perfect major for me. And an education, especially through the School of Information at the University of Michigan, is such a good education, because they have this whole like LinkedIn section and like what to do after. Like, Michigan really emphasizes like how to interview and how to build your resume, and like you're really prepared for like the outside world, and you're consumed in that. Like, you're sold the 9-to-5 dream. Like, I was itching for a 9-to-5. I was itching for like internships. I was like, oh my God, like I was devastated, because then I'm going into my junior, senior year, summer. Everyone has an internship at Michigan. If you don't have an internship, like, you have failed. And so I'm like stressing out about finding an internship. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta find. And so I find this internship. It's at this software sales company, but I'm like, whatever, it's an internship. Like, I applied for so many things. It was supposed to be in person in Houston. I remember they flew me out to do this interview. I was wearing this like blue blouse and I just like sweat through it. I was so nervous. Like interviewing for a job is scary, you guys, especially in person. Like now I feel like a lot of it is through Zoom, but even doing it in person, like my 9 to 5 babes, like you guys are soldiers. Like that's like scary stuff. And I never felt like I thrived in that at all. But I got this internship, was excited, but I didn't want to live alone in Houston. But I was like, whatever. It's an internship. It's like something to talk about. I was so insecure about like how I wasn't going to find like a 9 to 5, all this jazz. So I land this internship and then COVID happens. And I'm also so anxious that my internship's going to get canceled because of COVID, because that happened to a lot of people. They just had no internship, which is like disaster. As a going into being a senior at the University of Michigan, you didn't have an internship over the summer, you're a failure. You're a failure. It's crazy there. It's very cutthroat. So my internship ends up going remote for the summer. And so I'm living in my senior year house that summer, and I'm working a 9 to 5 internship every day, all remote. And I know remote is like the normal now, but at the time, nothing was remote, like before then. And I had really bad phone anxiety growing up. Like I had really bad like social anxiety that slowly transitioned into just being on the phone anxiety. Like I didn't like phone calls and stuff. And then everything turned into Zoom. And I was like, a Zoom is literally just a face-to-face phone call, even worse. Like that is worse. So I had this internship where I'm doing Zoom calls like 5 times a day, and like my manager was like super like serious and super like on it, and like I had only met him that once. Like I hadn't met anyone that I'm working with every single day. Like you're just thrusted into like the corporate world without being able to like ask questions. It's like I would have to like set up a call if I wanted to ask a question. So it was very independent. Like I feel like work from home is very independent. And that was my first experience in the workplace. And I was like, wait, I want to be like in an office. And so during this internship, I had a really honestly rough time. I was like crying all the time. I was also just going through a lot of personal anxieties because like I'm in my senior year, going into my senior year of college. It's COVID. My parents decided to sell their house. Like there was a lot of change happening within me. Like there was a lot going on. And I just really was not vibing with this internship added on to it. I just kept feeling like a failure. I kept getting feedback. I was just like, and there felt to be like so many rules. It was so specific. It just didn't feel like creative. And I was like, I don't want to do like spreadsheets and like user testing for the rest of my life. And I was like, oh no, like, oh no, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'm not vibing with this right now. So during the summer of this internship is also when I decide I want to start posting on social media again. I want to throw some fits on social media. You know what this depressed country is needing? Down in the dumps about COVID. No one's leaving their houses. You know what they need? Me putting on a cute fit and standing in a parking garage. Me in a Shein zebra top in a parking garage is what they needed. So baby, I delivered. Emma Leger was definitely like my like light bulb. She was my Acacia Brinley of the second coming of Claire, aka Queso land. Because during COVID I got a boyfriend. We like met like right when like COVID started. We like matched on a dating app. Full circle. And him and I started dating, and I had him be my personal photographer. So he would like go around and he would just take photos of me. Like that's what like we would do. That was like, he didn't love it as a hobby that much, but now he really likes photography, and he's a really good photographer, and he has a really amazing camera that I'm really jealous that he has. And he literally says it's because of me. So like he found a passion through it. Why not? He found beauty in my Shein zebra top in a parking garage. I'm like, I would change into like 3 different outfits. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna post every single day, because I also was like, this is my moment. I'm not seeing anyone in person. I've always kind of wanted to like resurgence this, like ever since when I was in middle school and I like lost all the followers, because I felt like I had it. Like I could have been one of those people that became like an influencer. Like I like tasted it, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just like started following some random girls on social media. Funny enough, one of them, Tyra, she's one of the first girls I followed. She's one of my friends in New York City now. She went to Ohio State. I went to Michigan. I think we were just like Midwest like content girlies that were posting every single day in the parking garages in our Shein. And so like we followed each other. We were like, okay. And like she really inspired me because she, I think, was a part of the Amazon influencer program for students. It was like the Prime Student program. She posted about it. And I think maybe she posted like an application link, or maybe I followed their page or something. It was through like an agency, and then I ended up like applying for it because I was like, oh, okay, this is like the Tinder youth thing, but I'm like, Amazon, like that's way cooler. And I think I wanted like free Amazon Prime, obviously, because I think the deal is like you get free Amazon Prime if you're a student. So I already thought it was like a really good offering, I guess. And so I apply. I remember my interview, I was like walking on the track talking, and it just like felt so natural the way I was like able to like talk about social media. That's the one thing, it's like always felt so effortless for me to talk about social media. In all my other, like when I was video editing, I felt like I couldn't like explain myself, user experience, like I felt like I just couldn't fully express it. This I can like just fully express, like it feels like all those things that I wanted to do are all wrapped up into this like perfect little bow right now of my job. Because also, not to say like influencing is for everyone, like you have to be your own boss, you have to be very motivated, you have to be creative, you have to be really hard on yourself, really disciplined. It's honestly not like for everyone, but if you have this like inkling, and if you felt like me where you just feel like you don't belong in like just the traditional trajectory, definitely like try it out. It's so empowering. And this is how we got there, because this is kind of like where it all like started again. Sorry, all that was backstory, but you have to learn the backstory to see the front, see the other side, baby. Also, I got a desk. I'm a girl boss now. We have to do a whole video on the desk, my work setup. And through the Prime Student Ambassador program, I think you would do like calls and stuff. And like I followed all the other like Prime Student Influencer people. It was like a cohort of maybe like 12 creators, I guess, from like all different schools. We did like an intro call, all introducing each other. And like at that time, everyone's like, there's a small group of us that are like kind of hustling. And it was only Instagram at this time. We all follow each other. And then from that, I feel like I got to be like introduced into the community. Like at that point, I was only following maybe like a few girls. It didn't really seem very achievable. I was following all these creators with like 300,000 followers, or I was following these people with like 5,000 followers, because at that time, like that was like, yeah, you're a micro influencer with 5,000 followers. Like, yeah, like hitting 10K was like the dream for everyone. That was like a part, the community that I was part of, like no one had really achieved that yet. And when people did achieve that, it was very celebrated. Like it was so cute. It was so cute and innocent back then. But there was really no, like, I didn't know of really any in between people. It was either like you were hustling to make it as a micro influencer, like hustling to be recognized, or like you had already made it and you were already established and you were already like a full-time influencer. It was just kind of like I was in like a new like wave of people, and it really opened my eyes to like how many opportunities there were. Like all of a sudden, like they're getting gifting from brands and they're like posting on your story. Like I remember I used to do like video hauls. Like it was just like so like crazy. And so through the Prime Student program, one of the deliverables was to also post on TikTok. Now at this point, obviously I've been like consuming TikToks. I would make like silly goofy ones with like trending audios, but like hadn't posted a serious TikTok yet. And they're like, okay, yeah, you need to be posting on TikTok once a month, along with like I think it was like 2 Instagram in-feed posts or something like that. Like back in the day of no Instagram reels, when an in-feed post, a photo meant something. And the Amazon Prime Student program started in like September. And so I had already been posting a lot on Instagram very consistently. Like when we all kind of got back to school, even though I'm not seeing anyone in a classroom, but when I would like go to like parties and stuff, I was always like so nervous about like what people would say. But everyone always was like, I had a really good experience where everyone always just like led with like curiosity. I was always the girl that had like disposable, like I have a ton right now, like disposable cameras. Like I've taken hundreds of my friends, like in college. He had a huge like disposable like photo wall of all my photos, so I was always like the photo girl. And so people weren't like super surprised when I started like posting on Instagram like every single day of like my outfits. I guess like people were just more like curious, being like, oh, so like are you trying to like do something with this? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just like having fun. Then when I did the Prime Student one, like Amazon's like a big name to kind of like slap on yourself. People are like, whoa, like you're working with like Amazon, because like they're not paying me or anything. I think I got like an Amazon gift card every single month. No, we got a gift card like every single semester, and I actually bought this Canon G7X, and I'm filming this right now in college with that Amazon gift card because I wanted to be a YouTuber. I was like gonna invest in like a vlog. Like I wanted to like vlog. I remember like my biggest thing is I wanted to vlog so bad. I wanted to like live stream. I wanted to like do video content. Like I just wanted to like talk so bad. Just like really like going for it. I was like, this is my moment. Like it was during COVID. I was seeing like other creators like do this. Like I was just like, okay, like this is like it. Like I just like felt it. I don't know what I just like didn't care about being cringe, but I also really wasn't seeing anyone. I was just like in my room all day, like doing my own thing. I was tan, it was summer, like I looked good. I was like, let's post some videos, let's post some videos. And so when the Prime Student Program said you need to do a TikTok, I like made a different TikTok because I had like my personal spam, which is the one I actually scroll on. I scroll like and engage with pretty much everything on my like spam OG TikTok. Like on Queso Scorpio, I like never really scroll unless I'm uploading something, then I'll like scroll through. And so I made a different TikTok. And if you guys know me from Queso Scorpio, guys, name reveal, I also have another TikTok, and I actually started my journey on this TikTok account. I make the TikTok account ClaireLiz _, which is the same as my Instagram username. So I make that TikTok account. And I was like really inspired by like just this like talking kind of like educational documentary vlog style content. Like I wanted to create that on TikTok. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to post something in between these like Amazon videos, because like I don't want to just like only have Amazon stuff up on my page. Like I want to like use this as an opportunity to like post on it. Like I've been meaning to post on it, like why not? And so I started thinking, I'm like, no one is talking about how to become an influencer. Like, I'm a part of this huge community on Instagram where these people are hustling, they're posting every day, we're like emailing a ton of brands, like doing all this behind the scenes work. Like, none of us really know if it's right. Like, we were just like DMing each other. Like, we had these engagement groups where you would like ask these questions and stuff, or like send a contact. And there were a lot of like Google forms and a lot of DMing, and it was just like confusing. And I was like, no one's really like talking about how to get from point A to point B. Like, how did people become like YouTube influencers? I was always so interested in. And I was like, and this is a video platform where we can like talk. Like, I can give information on this. Whereas Instagram before was just photos. And you could talk on your Instagram story, but that's going to disappear in like 24 hours. Like, you can't like build momentum, I feel like, through that. And I post one of my first TikToks is like, I'm gonna become an Instagram influencer, because I wasn't even trying to be a TikTok influencer, like, because I wasn't doing like the silly little dances like Charli D'Amelio. Like, I didn't feel like there was like a place for me to be really like an influencer on that platform. But I felt like Instagram was like my vibe. Like, I wanted to be like one of those aesthetic like photo creators. I didn't really necessarily want to be a video creator, but I was like, this is how I'm going to document my journey of being an Instagram influencer. And it was also a great way to get followers on my Instagram, because people wanted to follow along on the journey. I was like, follow me on Instagram. Like, this is my road to 10K followers. Babe got to 10K pretty quick after doing that. Big brain. And that's the thing. These things like just don't, you have to find like different, new, innovative ways to like grow a following now. I feel like that's one of the biggest things. And so I just saw a gap in the market. I was like, no one's talking about the behind the scenes of how to become an influencer. I want to become an influencer. I am going to become an influencer because I don't want to do a 9 to 5 after college is over, because I hated my internship. Let's do something different. Like, let's do something different. So I started posting every single day. Okay, this is what I'm doing to become an Instagram influencer. I would like post about the hashtags I was using, any brands I found that would do like gifting in exchange for posts. I would like upload them. I would upload what to say, like what I was saying, because I was just like going. And it was also a great way for like brands to notice me, and they're like, ooh, like we saw you, like we want to gift you, all this stuff. And that honestly just started getting the ball rolling, and I just started getting like really excited, so excited to like sit down on my computer and send out like 30 customized pitches to like 30 different emails that I was finding on like LinkedIn or like info website, like the info part of the websites, or like sometimes you would DM them on Instagram. Like, one of my biggest tips to get a brand's contact is literally just DMing the brand and saying like, hey, what's your PR contact? Like, hey, I would love to like pitch myself for future collaborations. Like, what's your PR contact? All that kind of stuff. And I was like getting successful. Like, I wasn't getting paid, I don't think, at this point, but I was getting free stuff. Like, it was super exciting to get free stuff. And I was like, why isn't everyone doing this? Especially as a college kid where I didn't have a job. I got involved in another ambassador program in my college. It was for Snack Pass. Like, it was just like this like food app, I guess, but they needed people to promote it. And so I started like promoting that, and that they would like pay us. And I was like, wait, we can get like paid for this stuff. And then things got exciting. I think I was only getting paid like $75 for like the entire semester or something, like entire year, maybe. I don't even know. It wasn't a lot. Like, these I was doing brand deals for like $50, like I was just happy to be getting like paid a little bit at all, because usually I would do it for gifting, because I knew I needed to like build up a portfolio, and I knew I needed to have examples of my work in order for anyone to take me seriously. And a huge example of my work is by documenting it all on TikTok and showing how I'm credible and how I know what I'm doing and how I'm going to put a lot of effort into working with you, because I'm posting about it. I'm posting about the behind the scenes. Like, yeah, you want to be involved in the conversation, involved in my like come up story and stuff. I started getting all this experience and all this knowledge, and I just started kind of like leaning more into it. It was honestly like faking it until I made it, because a lot of times, like, not that I had no idea what I was talking about, but I just kind of had imposter syndrome where I was like, yes, do this to get this. Like, and a lot of them were just with like trending audios and me like pointing to things, like pointing to text, being like how to calculate your engagement rate, or like how many followers is a micro versus like a whatever medium or something, like, or like what's a media kit, how to have something in your media kit, like bare bones, bare basics, which I feel like anyone can find all over TikTok now and stuff. And so graduation comes along. I applied for honestly a lot of different user experience jobs. I just like didn't really get any, and I was like honestly glad that I didn't get any, because I just didn't want to work something remote. And so it becomes like kind of like last 6 months of senior year, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like I don't want to be at home, because my parents just sold the house. They're like in between moving houses and stuff. I just didn't have like a place to stay, and so I said, okay, I'm going to California. I was like, it's a mess over here. I'm going to California, and I'm going to go touch a palm tree, because remember, I'm from Michigan, which Michigan summers are the best, but like I did not want to be I'd been in Michigan my entire life. I was ready to get out. Like I had just studied abroad. I was like, no, I'm out. And I tell my boyfriend, aka my photographer, like, babe, are you coming with me or not? And he's like, he also had never left Michigan, and he was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Like, so we drove out to California together I got a 3-month lease in Santa Barbara, well, at the UCSB campus, which was such a, like, it was like a college campus, so it was a little like, ouch, after like just graduating, but we were like right on the beach, like right on the water. I don't know, it was just like really pretty, and it was just such a different scenery, and there was a lot of good like nature and like walking, and like we had a car too, so like it wasn't an issue. I don't regret it at all. I probably would have done somewhere else in California. Like I really want to do like San Diego, like a little stint in San Diego, but I don't think I was meant to do San Diego then. I think I was meant to do like Santa Barbara, UCSB then, because only for like 3 months. We had a really good like sublet. Actually, we walked in and I was like, I forgot to ask about if there was air conditioning here. There was no air conditioning. We had to get an AC unit. It was so hot. I was like, oh, I just assumed everywhere would have AC. No, I had to go switch up my drink. I switched over to my Love Shack fancy tumbler, because it is 9 a.m. when I'm recording this, so I need some water for the day. I actually got this for free for being an influencer, but I got this because I was a friends +1 to an event, the Love Shack fancy event. And that is one of my tips. I want to say, if you want to be an influencer, find a friend, and like a genuine friend, that is also an influencer that you can like do it with. Like I felt like, because like kind of Tyra, for example, was like the virtual one for that, and like one of my friends, Sydney, was also kind of like that. We were just like virtually like rooting each other on. Like not necessarily that you need a +1 in person, but you need a +1 online. Like someone that's going to be like like you need content friends and people that are also doing it, because you're going to feel so like isolated and alone, because it is an alone experience, and you need someone that you can like reach out to, vent to, because like they're the only ones that like understand it when it's like, oh, this brand like didn't pay me, or like, hey, like, do you think this like brand's like sus or not? And a lot of people in like my life, like one of my best friends, Megan, who is now a full-time influencer, but she decided that she wanted to start, and so she was like texting me and like asking me questions all the time. Like I don't mind that at all, especially if it's someone that I like care about and that I'm friends with. Like I want to see them succeed too, of course. And so I feel like you need to find one of those people in your life, where they're virtual or in person, that you can like lean on. And ideally, if you guys are in like a major city, or if you guys are on a college campus, like you guys can like do things together. You guys can go like take photos together, like do content together, because you need someone to do content with. It's really hard, I feel like, to grow these days if you're like just on your own. Like at the end of the day, we all need community, and like you can definitely do it on your own, and like obviously you should be the center of your content, but like just kind of like bouncing ideas, being creative like with other people, I think is like the grit. I feel like that's like the best way to like spark new ideas. I don't know, it's just like really helped me. And so if you're feeling stuck in that aspect, like try like following girls on like Instagram or TikTok, and like DMing, commenting, like just find the girls that you vibe with and like reach out, see if it works. I'm in Santa Barbara for this summer, and this is the summer that I lock in and take it seriously, because what is more aesthetic than an ocean sunset palm tree moment? That is my dream aesthetic. That is I like pivoted hard going into like the I Heart New York aesthetic. But palm tree aesthetic is like gonna have to come back soon, because I just love like a palm tree sunset moment. Like anything looks good if you're posing in front of that. And so my content went from Michigan Shein top parking lot to Pepper Mayo beginning boutique on the beach. Because when I started posting like palm tree pics and stuff, yeah, more brands are going to want to send me stuff because I'm giving it to them for free in exchange for clothes. So I started like working with like Princess Polly, beginning boutique, like Pepper Mayo. And then I started doing video hauls of it, obviously, which like sometimes was the deliverable, sometimes not. I feel like when I moved to California was when I really noticed the deliverables start including TikTok. All throughout college, when I was like pitching, it was all like Instagram photos or Instagram stories. And then they're like, what if you did a TikTok too? Because this was before even Reels. Like Reels wasn't around yet, which is crazy. Like, yeah, what if you posted like a TikTok too? So you just do like a TikTok like try on haul with a trending audio. It was always so easy. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But that's just another way for you to get like content up. And I'm like taking these aesthetic videos, and it's just all for gifting. I remember I worked with like Kate Spade through, I think it was still like a college ambassador program, but since I was fresh out of college, I was still able to do it. That was one of my like the coolest partnerships ever. It was while I was in California. I have like so many Kate Spade bags because of it, and they're bags I'll have forever. Like insane, like cool bags that was just being gifted all the time just to take like fun content with. And I was like still working with Amazon, and then Amazon also started hiring me to make videos for them. I remember when I was in Santa Barbara, I was doing like this Halloween series for them. It was like this post-grad program. They hired a few select creators from the Prime Student Program to start like creating content for their pages, the Amazon Influencer Program pages. And I was like one of those selected creators. And so I would like make content for them. I did like a Halloween costume series. I also started doing like more educational videos for them on like how to sign up for like the Prime Student Program, or how to become like Amazon, how to set up your storefront, like all those different things. And it really gave me confidence on my own profiles to start really being like, yeah, this is how you do this. Like, this is how you're going to work with brands. Like, I kind of like leveled up into like the intermediate part of it. And then I started thinking, I was like, I could like make money off of this, because my Claire Liz TikTok really started growing. I think in California I was probably at like 60,000 followers, and since then I've gained like 100,000 more. So this was kind of like I guess like middle of like my, like I really like spiked up when I was in Santa Barbara, because I was posting every single day. And not necessarily that it was aesthetic, but I was like posting a lot of like educational content, but then some fashion content. Like if you look at that TikTok page now, it's like solely social media coach, like advice, like tips, strategies, all that kind of stuff. But back then I was doing like how to become an influencer, but then I want to be an influencer, here's some clothes, like me trying to influence you, like all on the same page. It was like a mishmash of like everything, which made it pretty easy to post every single day, because I wasn't really posting about like a single topic. I was definitely getting all my followers from like learning how to be an influencer videos and like my educational content and like what to say when you're pitching. Like you just kind of like keep repeating the same stuff over and over again. And as I was learning more, I was like teaching more, and I was experimenting more and like trying things, seeing what works. And I still do that, and I still love to do that. It's all just like research. And I just kind of kept joining these different ambassador programs where I was learning more, making more connections. I was working as like a social media person for this one startup for a while. Like I was just finding like odd random jobs to make money, because like influencing like really wasn't paying the bills like at all. But I was growing, and I was doing things in the back end. Like going to Santa Barbara, I was literally like, I'm just gonna live like off of my savings. Like I'm like not a huge spender in general, so I can make like a little bit go a long way. And so I said, like, okay, this summer I'm not going to worry about money. I'm not going to worry about like what I'm doing with my life. I'm going to lock in, touch palm trees, touch the ocean, touch the sand, and post on social media and watch a sunset every single night. And that's what I did. And I had my boyfriend with me taking all my photos during it. And it was great. No, we've hit our next trauma. So then the 3 months is over, and I didn't really plan on like extending it. Like I kind of just like wanted to go back home at that point. And my boyfriend at the time really wanted to go home. Like we agreed like at the end of the 3 months we were going to go back to Michigan. The thing is, we both didn't really know what we were going to do when we got back to Michigan. So I came home. I lived like in my parents' house. I was honestly like really down in the dumps again. I just felt like I didn't know what was going on. Because honestly, in Santa Barbara, I just like, I didn't feel like that was the right fit either. I loved it for my content, but I didn't love it for me. I felt like I didn't have any friends there. I felt really lonely after having such a big social life in college, like having literally zero social life, where the only person I hang out with every day is like my boyfriend. Like, I loved hanging out with him, but like, I wanted friends, but like I didn't have any friends. We were on this college campus that was out for the summer, so there's no one on the college campus. Like, it was just a very isolating experience, but it was great because it made me lock in on my content, and I had nothing else to think about other than my content and watching. I watched Love Island USA that season with Cinco. Yeah, with Cinco's that season, because I've been watching Love Island USA since like the dawn of time, and like I remember that like we would just sit down and watch that every night, and like it was just a very like, I was just like, I want more excitement in my life. But then we go back home, and him and I just like can't really agree. Like we had, but like I just can't figure out where I want to end up, because I was like, okay, I really loved California for my content, but I don't have anyone there. I don't have any sort of community there. And I was like in a lot of therapy, just trying to be like, I can move anywhere, because I had this momentum going with like my content, where I was making like really not like that much, but I was starting to like track it. And so I'm at home, and my visual content I'm like not enjoying as much anymore, because there's no longer palm trees, there's no longer sunsets. I'm living in Michigan. It's also about to be winter, because I randomly decided to live in Santa Barbara during the summer. So like I come back to Michigan right when it's about to be like the dead of winter, and like my content and aesthetic is completely different. So I leaned into this video educational content, because I didn't need a pretty background. I just needed like a white wall in my bedroom, and I could just like talk to the camera. And that's when I started doing my get ready with me videos, because during this time I would take trips with my one friend Sydney. We would do these like content trips, because she was living in Colorado at the time. I was living in Michigan. I was craving those like palm tree moments again. So we did one to Miami, and then we decided to do one to LA. It was like the weekend of Coachella, like it was that weekend, and we met girls that like worked at Revolve or whatever, and we got invited to Revolve Festival. So we extended our trip. I remember this was the most excited I've been. Like, this was my I made it moment. I am in LA. We were just on like a content trip. Like, we got like a discounted stay at this hotel, because we had just been like emailing, and like none of it's paid. Like, we're just dumping our own money, but we're like, we'll post like so many times free and stuff. And like we both took amazing content. Like, her content is like one of my favorites still to this day. Like, stock up photos during this, and then I would just post them throughout. Like, I remember I used content from a Miami trip, the LA trip, and then my parents went to Las Vegas with my boyfriend, and I used like those 3 locations for my content for like probably a year. So once I went to Revolve Festival and then I came home, I remember filming a get ready with me TikTok, because there was like kind of drama at Revolve festivals. My first time being around like really big influencers like in person. Holy privilege. Like, it was insane. Like, there was this whole like bus situation where a lot of us, like, because you had to be bussed into the festival, and they were only bussing the people with like a ton of followers, and it was really frustrating and like kind of sad. I don't know, I had never been in a situation before where they're like, how many followers do you have? And if you like, because I didn't have many, and like they would just move on to the next person. People would be like 100,000, and they'd be like, okay, get on the bus. Like, they would only let them. Came out, and there was a whole conversation on TikTok, so I did a get ready with me video doing that. And I found that that style of video was the easiest way for me to convey information to people, by like getting ready, doing something casual. It really captivated my audience. And so the ball started rolling from there, where then I started making educational get ready with me videos. I became, I feel like, known as like the girl with the pink headband. I was like giving all these tips, strategies. So I really leaned into like the social media strategist side of things. And I ended up getting hired by this agency to work with them on, it was actually like Central Park. Like, Central Park needed help on their TikTok account. And this guy, Larry, who love Larry's based in New York City. Him and I do a Zoom call. He's like, you're based in Michigan? Like, cool. Like, we need like someone that's creative to help with social media strategy. Like, do you want to help out? Like, I really like your videos. Like, Larry saw something in me, and I was like, okay, Larry, like, let's do this. At this point in my life, I had never stepped foot in Central Park, which is so like silly and so full circle, but I am helping the Central Park Conservancy figure out how to revamp their social media, like get people excited about Central Park, all that kind of stuff, which is really interesting because the Conservancy, like, they didn't have the money really to do it. But I just like found this whole market where, like, because it was during that time where brands were starting to realize, oh shit, we need to be on TikTok too. Like, we've spent all this time on Instagram, we have all the photo stuff locked in. Now we need to do video content. Now we need, like, video is so much different than photo. And all these brands were like, I don't know how to transition it. And this is and that's basically what this agency with Larry, he like built this agency to do. And so they had all these different, like, really impressive clients, and they would start bringing me in on random projects as like the creative girl. Like, I would just like have these ideas, and I would like just come up with ideas, and I would like spend a lot of time on TikTok, like study trends, see what, like, what was working. And this really gave me experience. And I was like, I bet creators are having this same issue too. I'm posting all this like social media strategy stuff, how to grow your account. I'm like, what if I offered like these one-on-one consultations? And I ended up finding this company, Stan, who I still use them now. It was another startup where it was basically like specialized for that, helping like creators connect with their favorite creators kind of one-on-one is what it started off as. And I was like, I can use this platform so people can book a call with me, and I can do like a coaching call with them. And I was home at my parents' house. I was super depressed. I didn't know where I wanted to live, what I wanted to do. I didn't have any friends. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And so I was like, okay, let me do this because I can make some money on the side doing this. I'm doing this for Larry. I feel like I have good experience now. I feel like I kind of know what I'm talking about. I'll never forget, I got on my first coaching call. Like, this girl, I should pay her money back. I guess I could maybe find her in my like files. I mean, it was so long ago because this was 2022 at this point. No, I think this is probably still 2021. Like very end of 2021. I graduated May of 2021. I'm in Santa Barbara until August of 2021. I started doing coaching calls maybe November-ish of 2021 because I remember it being winter. First coaching call, I was just like, yeah, so like, what are your questions? What do you want to talk about? I had zero structure at all because I just kind of assumed that someone would come prepared with like questions because that's like what I would do in that situation. And I quickly came to realize no one comes with questions really. Like, rarely they do, but you have to be prepared and you have to fill up the time if they don't. And it's been like one of the most valuable like public speaking life lessons things. It's helped me in my social life. It's helped me in like dating. Like, you just have to like fill the space. They paid for 30 minutes. I need to make it worthwhile. I mean, now I spend, before any one of my 30-minute coaching calls, I spend a collective probably like 3 hours before prepping, going through my notes, re-editing my notes, like reorganizing the notes. Like, I did a coaching call last week for a very large creator that I like loved her content, and like those ones are honestly the hardest because it's hard when someone's already been successful how to like revamp and reboot. But it is like it's so good to have like a fresh set of eyes on your content as well. Like, I've met with some interesting characters, but I started offering this and then I started promoting it on my TikTok, being like, hey, if you want personalized help, like, I'll look at your account and I'll audit your account. So I'll basically go through, see like what's working, what's not. Because a lot of people just need like an extra set of eyes. They need someone to tell them what to do. And I was giving very generalized advice, but I noticed people were always commenting like, can you take a look at my page? Like, what about this? Or like they'd be DMing me and like asking questions, and I would like go on lives and do it. But it seemed like people were just like starving for the information. And so people started like booking these calls. And then I also started coming out with digital resources. Like, I came out with like a pitch guide, like how to like do an email pitch. I came out with like an email list of like different like PR emails that were just kind of like compiled. Like, I came out with like a PDF. Like, I don't know, I came out with like a ton of like digital resources too, just for like passive income. And I honestly started like that's like how I started making like initial money, and like consistent money, where I was like, okay, like I can do this. And my dad was like, okay, start tracking it. Because they were very like, when are you getting a job, babe? Like, they were like, what's going on here? Like, you just graduated from the University of Michigan. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? You're posting on Instagram. And so once I started making the money and kind of doing things in the back end that were helping me make money, because as a full-time like influencer, unless you're like one of like the top mega creators that are making like 50,000 off a brand deal, you need to have a lot of different streams of income. And for me, a way that makes me comfortable as a creator is like my back end, like my coaching, my strategy work. And you need to find like what that is for you, even if you're like a Depop Poshmark reseller and in like your back end, or like if you're a copywriter in the back end, like if you like manage one social media page, like you need something else in the back too. And I think that really also helps ground you as a creator. And you notice a lot of the big creators that say that they're unfulfilled and really depressed are the ones that like all of a sudden become Pilates teachers, or like they have this like hobby. It's because like you kind of need something in the back end. Because one of my goals for 2026 is just do more like public speaking, hence the pod, hence Queso on the couch, or just even like speaking engagements in more of like the social media strategy aspect. I feel like I have so much knowledge and people always tell me I'm really good at explaining stuff like that. Another one of my biggest tips, if you want to like not only become a creator but have longevity, is diversify and adapt, and continue to diversify and adapt, because you need multiple things going on if you're all on your own. It's also hard because I'm not in a dual income household, babe. I don't have a boyfriend anymore. I'm single, and I gotta make sure I'm like on it to be able to afford my life. I live alone in a New York City 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. Like, your girl's got health insurance. Like, I have a lot of bills and expenses. I've become an adult, and so I got to be on it to make sure I'm making that salary. And I don't think I would be able to if I didn't diversify. So if you're at the point where you have the platform, you're making a little bit of money, but you want to make a full-time income, I would honestly recommend figuring out another stream of income to help support you while you're going like full-time with that. If you're trying to transition from that 9 to 5 to full-time content, you have to have like something to diversify. And because I just love to diversify, in around like February of that year, because once I started coaching on my Clairlist TikTok, I kind of only transitioned that into social media coaching. So I'm like, okay, if people are paying money to sit down and spend like 30 minutes talking to me and I'm going to give them advice and I'm going to audit their account, like they have to believe me, they have to trust me, and they're not going to trust me if I'm also posting like fashion hauls on the side, like thirst traps on the side. Like, I had become like serious. I'm like, okay, I'm like, because that was where I was making most of my money. So I was like, okay, I have to like be locked in. But I obviously still had a passion for fashion. I love to, like, this is when I first started thrifting too in my town, because I was like so bored, I had nothing to do. So I would go to thrift stores. I was like styling a lot, playing a lot with outfits, because I was still like taking these like Instagram photos in the parking garages and stuff. Oh, back to where I started. So it all started with me documenting how to become an influencer, became me teaching other people how to be an influencer, to me being like, wait, I'm an influencer of the influencers, but I want to be an influencer of what I want to influence. Like, I want to live the dream of doing like day in my life vlog. I'm like, all of a sudden everyone's only asking me for tips. And so I knew I wanted to start a second account, just more for like fashion, something on the side. Because I was also still doing gifting for like Princess Polly, Pepper Mayo, because like I loved their clothes. Like, their clothes were like it at the time, and I was getting like $500 worth, like sick. But I couldn't post that on my Clairlist TikTok. So I was like, okay, I need to pivot. I need to make up something else. But I wouldn't make this account until I thought of a username for it. I knew I wanted it to be like a fun username that reflected me, that was gonna be like memorable, like a fucking like acquired style type beat, or like, I don't even know, that's like when people have like fun concrete crotch kiss. Like, I wanted something like that, like, and I couldn't fucking think of it one day. And I remember the day I woke up and it was my first thought was Queso Scorpio. I love Queso and I'm a Scorpio. Like, okay, like, and they're both like just two interesting words like mushed together. Like, I literally woke up and I was like, okay, that's gonna be the name of the account. And that's what got me to make the account. I didn't do any really talking content on it. I was literally just doing like random fashion, like just random like other things, and also like experimenting on the account. That was kind of my account where I was like, okay, I'm starting this from zero, I'm trying to grow it. This is a good way, like, I'm gonna document it on my Claire Liz TikTok, again giving me more things to talk about, and then people also funnel over to that one because people were interested in what was going on. Now I have these like kind of two platforms I'm juggling, obviously my main one, but I'm miserable in Michigan. I need to go somewhere else. All my friends from U of M, this good community I had, they all got full-time jobs in New York City after graduation. They're all having so much fun. The one other girl I lived with lived in New Jersey. She calls me up and she's like, hey, do you want to move to New York with me? Like, I'm gonna move to New York City, I need a roommate. Like, I don't want to live with someone random. we lived with each other in college. Do you want to live with me? And I had never thought about living in New York. I honestly had like zero desire to. I wanted Palm Tree Sunset Beach. Like concrete jungle, like I don't know. I've never romanticized New York at all. Like at all. I'm probably one of the only New York City influencers to ever say that. I've never like been like, oh, I want to live in New York. I literally went just one of my friends. And of course, they all picked to live in the most expensive city in the world. They have pretty lighting in here right now. I was thinking, I live here in Michigan. I didn't know any other influencers in Michigan. Like I was the only one doing it. I would always get stares. And I was like, you know what? Maybe let me try this in New York where there's other people that do it. I know there are because I've seen them. I can take pictures like on the street and like people say that they don't even care. They don't even notice. So I'm like, okay, let me try it out. Whoa, was it good for me. Then I moved to New York and it honestly ended up being the best thing ever for like the personal brand that I was trying to recreate that I was like missing after becoming this social media coach. Like I wanted to become Claire. I wanted to be Claire. But I moved here and I didn't realize how crazy the influencer culture is here. It was like way crazier than LA because LA is also just a way chiller place. And I had like seen the influencer scene there at Revolve Festival. And also a lot of people are coming in for Revolve Festival. There are just millions of influencers, boots on the ground everywhere. You go to Soho and you see like, it's a zoo. It's a zoo. And we're the animals. So I found my content friend because I was like, okay, I need someone that I'm going to like shoot content with. So I met her. Her name's actually also Sydney. We become best friends and she had been here for a while. So she kind of like showed me the rope. She's like, oh, we can go to events. I was like, events? I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, brands put on events for like new product launches or different launches that they're doing. And they invite influencers and it's just literally a party for fun. And I was like, what? That's what it's all about, is finding those people, like getting coffee with people, meeting people, chatting with people in whatever city you live in. Because like nowadays there's influencers in every single city. So it's like your city, your playground, girl. Like, what are you doing? Like, reach out to some of them because they're going to have like connects and they're going to help excel the experience. Then I just felt interesting. I love exploring New York City. I love doing day trips. I feel like I've really found myself and my independence here. I became single again here after being in that long-term relationship. I completely rediscovered myself, which I did not expect at all moving here because Santa Barbara was such a like whatever experience, like learning about myself. Here it's like exceeded my expectations. It was like what I was supposed to do and what I was meant to do. Excited to figure out that you're on the right path, and influencing got me there, which is like random. It was just like following my instinct, following my gut, because I would have never accepted. Babe couldn't get a job, but I would have never accepted when I did end up getting a job in New York. Like that wasn't on my radar at all. New York only became on my radar because my friends moved there and I saw that there were influencers there, and I was living in Michigan and I didn't know any influencers. This is the ultimate influencer playground. There's endless inspiration, endless things to do, endless events. Like it's so easy to move around the city, to get around the city. Like so many different types of people live here. It's just like such a melting pot. It's such like a cool place to be, but you definitely don't have to be here to be interesting online and to post online. I just found like experiencing a new city was like a joy to me. So it's like if you live in a city and you want to like find joy in that, like go to new restaurants, try new things. I love going to like new thrift stores, and like every city has a thrift store. Yours definitely has a thrift store. And honestly, I transitioned into just kind of posting more on QUESO Scorpio than I did on my social media Claire Liz TikTok, because I really wanted to focus on building out my personal brand and honestly prove to myself that I could do it. I had this imposter syndrome because I was like, okay, I built this following on my Claire Liz TikTok about being an influencer coach, but like, am I really influencing anyone? Like, why are people even following me? Like, did I only build this following because I said follow along to learn how to become an influencer, and not like because of me and because I'm interesting, which I know both go hand in hand. So I did this QUESO Scorpio TikTok and I worked really hard on growing it. I feel like my biggest spur of growth was during my dating TikTok series. Because during that time I was like dating a lot and I wanted to document it. And I feel like that was a way that a lot of people found me, and that's where I found a lot of my community, which now they're like stretched out through everything. So I think that's also really cool, is when you post about a lot of different things, a lot of different people follow me for different things. Like when someone comes up to me, because it's really cool, people will come up to me, which is like, it always like makes my day. I love it. Sometimes they'll call me QUESO, which means I know that they're from that. Some girls are like, I love your thrifting videos. Some people are like, I love your like coaching tips. That's what I love about it. I've diversified like so well that I'm like known for, like I can wear so many different hats that I feel like I personally don't ever feel uninspired or get bored because I can lean into something else. Like right now I'm leaning into like podcast, YouTube, long form. This is like a fun experiment because I can. I'm just trying to lean into like all my platforms this year and like just really go all in on like work and just really, yeah. This year's like my year of like locking in. Like my vision board was all about work, not like a little bit of travel. Wasn't a single boy on there, to be honest. Like, sorry guys. But that's the biggest takeaway is you literally just have to start. You have to have that moment where you just like stop caring and you're like, all right, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to be consistent and go into it with a plan. 2 weeks before you even post anything, just start drafting things because there will be like lulls where you don't want to do like post anything. You need to have like drafts stocked up. And it's also okay to take breaks. Like I didn't post last week. It's okay. Like it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Like you're here right now. It's fine. Whatever. Because consistency is really important, but also giving yourself a life too is also important. And that's going to make you more interesting. If you go out, experience things, then you come back and you share what you learned, what you did, all those different things. But you have to have a life outside of social media in order, I feel like, to be successful on social media. You have to have a very just like curious outlook on life. This was a really long one. I feel like this was my longest one yet. Let me know if you guys like the long ones. I've been trying to make them longer because I feel like I personally don't love to listen to a pod that's 20 to 30 minutes. I'm normally like a more like 40 minutes to an hour vibe. So I tried to give that to you guys today because also my story is very long. And that's how QUESO came to be. And that's how QUESO became to be on this couch. That's like my origin story. So hopefully you feel like you know a lot more about me because I trauma dumped you. I told you about 3 of the most traumatic things that happened to me. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. See you next time. Bye.